So today I'm going to be chatting about Elizabeth Acevedo's latest book, With the Fire on High. So stick around to see what I thought of it. Hey friends, Roger here, and welcome to my channel, Roger's Reads. So I really love books about cooking, baking, restaurants, food, bakeries. So I was thrilled to learn that one of my favorite new authors was coming out with a book that's centered around a young woman that loves to cook. And that book is With the Fire on High. Hopefully you can get that, it's not too blurry. So the book follows Imoni, a half Puerto Rican, half black 17-year-old teen mom who's been living with her grandmother and raising her little daughter, who's now 2 years old, I do believe. So Imoni and her grandmother are desperately trying to make ends meet while Imoni continues with high school. So for most of those years, things have been pretty tough for Imoni, as there's so much that's out of her control, and she's really ended up having to make some quite difficult decisions. It doesn't help that she's often berated by the students at her school because of her status as a teen mom. So though she knows it's out of her reach, Imoni has dreams of becoming a chef one day, given that she really has a magic touch when it comes to cooking. She always seems to know just the right combination of ingredients to make her meals a magical experience. So much so that people are actually moved to tears while eating her creations. So I thought that this little touch of a magical realism really added a super sweet touch to the story. So when the opportunity to take a culinary arts class along with a trip to Spain comes up, an immersion cooking trip actually, Imoni is torn. Now, realistically, she knows that she has neither the time nor the money for a class and a trip to Spain. Yet she knows that this could open up doors for her to pursue that which she truly loves. So she decides to take a chance to see if by some miracle she can make this happen. Now, what I found interesting in regards to the culinary arts class was how difficult a time Imoni had of following recipes without being able to add her own personal touch to them, to add the ingredients that she feels would improve the recipe. So in this way, she learned that in addition to having an intuition for what will make a tasty dish, it's important to have technical skills as well. And I enjoyed seeing Imoni having to learn this lesson. Now, as for the book, I found that the short chapters made the story quite easy to read, and each one of them felt like a little vignette into Imoni's life, giving us a glimpse of the different areas of her life. I also thought that the succinct chapters resulted in a nice story and kept the pace moving at a steady clip. Now, there is a love interest in this book, and I thought it was exceptionally well done, and I was glad to see that it didn't overshadow the other important aspects of the book. The romance was super slow developing, and I loved how respectful the boy was of Imoni's boundaries and wishes. Now, my one little niggle is that though this is a delightful story about family, culture, and roots, it could have done with a little bit more conflict, maybe a little more struggle. Though Imoni certainly did have her challenges, it felt to me as though things resolved a little too quickly. For instance, instead of being penalized for skipping classes, she's instead rewarded by being given a leadership position, which, I don't know, that kind of felt kind of strange to me. It seemed kind of weird. It just seemed that things fell into her lap way too easily. And I think some conflict and obstacles would have made this even a better book. But all in all, I really loved this empowering story. Imoni was wonderfully driven, passionate, and determined, and I love seeing her growth throughout the book as she chased down her dreams. The secondary characters were admirable as well, and I enjoyed seeing Imoni surrounded by strong and loyal female characters such as her grandmother and her friend Angelica. Yes, Angelica. So With the Fire on High was a beautifully written, thought-provoking, multi-layered story with a nicely wrapped up ending, and for me, another hit by Elizabeth Acevedo, and I ended up giving this book 4 stars. So have you read this book? If so, what did you think of it? Let me know in the comments. So that about does it. As always, I thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all your support. And if you like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you click the like button below, as that helps my channel out. And I think that about does it. I will talk to you in the next video. Roger and out.